Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Bill.
Hey,
Glad you couldn't make it, Bruce. You did
I am too.
it.
Hey, Gordon.
Hello, Bruce. Just observer.
No, that's all right. We need watching.
Okay.
I heard that about you. I heard that about you, Bruce.
You heard correct.
Kathy's got a big job.
Yes, she does. My mother turned me over to her.
Wise woman.
Mhm.
How hot is it in Florida?
It's 90 here now. It's steamy, but this place we're staying, it's like a Airbnb. It's a 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom house, and it's got a pool. So we're struggling.
Well, I think it is officially 2 o'clock, so I'm going to go ahead and get going because
Well, before you do, just want to make sure. Tony, how you feeling?
I'm feeling a whole lot better. Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you very much.
Yeah, and your lovely wife, how is she?
So far she's symptom free. So
Good.
it's just the crud. It's going around. Everybody's getting it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not coming home.
I don't blame you.
Yes, you are. All
I'm
right.
glad you.
Everybody's here.
Yeah, glad you're better, Tony. Let's go ahead and get started. Welcome y'all. Good afternoon to our special called council meeting. We called it using Zoom today because 2 of our councilmen are out of town. Oh, there is Jim Curtis. Oh my goodness, you're here, Jim. Welcome.
Thank you. Got
I'm glad you
in
made
late
it.
last night.
Oh, I thought you were going to be driving today. I'm glad you're here. Thank
Came
you.
back a day early, just
Good.
for this meeting.
Thank you so much. We need to address some agenda items that are time sensitive, so we went in and planned it for today. Let's go ahead and move on to the agenda item number 2, which is approve the minutes. Included in your council packet were the minutes from the May 17th workshop and the May 24th regular council meeting. I want to thank you, Karen, for your continued Herculean efforts to try to put down everything that we say. Thank you so much. First of all, motion to approve these minutes as presented.
So moved.
Thank you, Bruce. A second. Thank you, Tony. I saw your mouth move. So if you'll, yeah, there you go.
There we go.
Any discussion on these minutes?
Yeah, Madam Mayor, I have just one minor correction.
Okay.
Related to the discussion about the marketing that was going to golfers. And I think near the last couple of lines, I had mentioned that it was they were the correct demographic. So I'd like to have that added.
Okay.
Which one was that, Bill? Which minutes?
Regular council meeting. Hold on, pull it up right now. Yeah, it was item 5 on your minutes. Next to the last sentence.
Okay.
Stated that, that marketing to the golfers was a good demographic for Sky Valley. Okay.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you, Bill. All right. Any other discussion? Thank you. So all in favor of the approval of the minutes. With Bill's addition to item 5, signify by saying aye.
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 All right, thank you. Adoption of the agenda. I need a motion to adopt the agenda as presented.
So moved.
Thank you, Bill.
Second.
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 Thank you, Jim. Any discussion? All right, all in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Thank you. Item 4, consider approval to correct the motion procedure of recommending the marketing committee budget expenditures for 2022. Apology, gentlemen, due to a procedural faux pas by me, we had lengthy discussions about this budget. And we went ahead and voted for approval, but I did not ask for a motion or a second to do so. So we're going to correct that at this time. Do I hear a motion to approve the expenditure budget of the marketing committee?
So moved.
Thank you, Bruce. Second. Bill, was that you?
That was,
Who
was me.
seconded? Who
Well,
was it?
I'll
It was
second it
Jim.
because I'm afraid I'm the one that suggested to you that we had made the motion at the time. So
all
we
right,
didn't
so
go
it-
back and do it.
All right, so it's your fault, Jim?
Possibly. My memory is kind of hazy on these things.
Yeah, me too. No, I'll take the hit. All right. So we've had a motion and a second, since we've had 2 meetings where we had extensive discussions about this. Let's go ahead and call the vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Thank you. And I will certainly try to not take up council time for doing this again. All right, let's move to new business, and that's to consider the resolution to amend the 2021 general fund budget and amendment for certain departmental budgets. Jason, if you'll explain the need for this resolution, that would be great.
Madam Mayor, this has been touched on, I believe, very briefly, maybe early in the year, but we knew that there were some departmental budgets that may be over. We are in audit mode at this time, and it's important to go in and correct these overages. Fortunately, as a total for the general fund, we did not go over. However, some departments did go over. However, most of the departments actually had surpluses. So basically, this would be considered a to from. We're moving money from departments that had overages to that had surplus to departments that had overages. And this is to keep from having a finding with the audit. But essentially, if you look at you should have a spreadsheet here. The departments that we went over was the fire department. That is the quarterly payment that we give to the fire department. For whatever reason, that was under budgeted. It was $88,000 and something. There was $80,000 budgeted. That money is coming from economic development and elections. The mayor's departmental budget was over by $325. We're pulling funds from the elections for that. There was an other or miscellaneous. I've got to go back and see what that is. It was $10. We're correcting that, pulling that from elections. The police department was over $33,643.08. Of that, we're pulling $19,886.82 from buildings and grounds, and then $13,756.26 from public works to bring that into compliance. And then administration was over $9,801.05. And we're pulling funds from the elections, from the public works and parks and legislative. The total is $52,133.51 of all of the departments that were over. And that is, as you see, that is the same amount that we're taking from. So again, this is to bring all of the departments that were over into compliance, so that will not bring a finding in the audit. And that requires council approval.
Okay, any discussion from council members?
Yeah,
J- Go ahead, Bill.
I went through it in detail. It all looked appropriate to me. And the interesting thing is we still ended up with an overall total surplus, correct?
We did. It was about 7,000 something dollars. Um,
7,557. Yeah.
yes, yes, correct.
So, and this is a normal process to balance the departments. The important point was we ended up with a surplus overall to our budget. We did not
Correct.
exceed our overall budget.
That's correct.
Thank you, Bill. Jim, did you need to say anything?
Just to thank Jason for summarizing this in these spreadsheets in such an easy way to understand.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jason. That was great.
Thank you. Thank you.
Any other questions or discussions from the council? All right, from any of our participants, I think we have a couple of participants. You don't see any, no comments?
I didn't, there's nothing on the chat, Madam Mayor.
Yeah, I don't see
Okay.
any.
All right. Do I hear a motion to consider this resolution to amend the 2021 general fund budget?
So moved.
Thank you, Bill. Second. Bruce,
Second.
was that you?
That's Jimmy.
It was Jim. Okay. Thank you. We have to make sure and get this in the minutes so that I don't make another faux pas here, y'all. All right. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All right.
Thank you very much. Item number 6, consider approval of a quote to authorize the award of the contract to Paleolos. How do you pronounce that? Jason?
Paleolos.
Paleolos
Stone
Stonemason, in the amount of $22,218 to install decorative stone onto the head walls and wing walls of the Sky Valley Way culvert. Our main culvert, as we all know, was successfully replaced and worked wonderfully well last week when we had about 8 inches of rain. I saw where over almost 100 of our citizens mentioned how thrilled they were on social media about how well it performed. I got a lot of compliments as I walked around the city. In addition, I got several people sent me wonderful photographs, which I will use in the State of the City address next month. I also heard from many citizens that they wanted to have our city to continue to use stone on our culvert, as we have in our welcoming entrance committee and many of our roadway corners, etc. They wanted our city to look as wonderful as it does and be very memorable as people come into our city. Jason, if you will talk about the bids.
I will.
so forth.
Madam Mayor, when this discussion came about, we reached out to about 7 or 8 different contractors that do stone masonry. A lot of these places are out of business. A lot of them are not taking on any more work. They're having the same issues, problems. Was able to speak with 3 stone masons. Doug James out of Scaly Mountain. He is about 3 to 6 months out. Lorenzo Masonry out of Clayton, the same scenario. Really, we're not even interested in providing us with a quote. Paleolos is out of Highlands, North Carolina. They provided this quote. From our due diligence, it appears to be a competitive bid. We actually spoke to Josh Ward, who is the town manager for the town of Highlands. And they have done a lot of work for the town of Highlands. And Highlands has spoken very highly of their work. So they come highly recommended. They can start very quickly if they were to be selected. And this would be a very natural rustic stone. And they're telling us that if this were to be approved, that they could be done by the July 2nd, 4th of July celebration. So that would be very timely if that was done by that time. So the recommendation is to go with this company here.
I think also Jason and I viewed some examples of this company's work, and it was exquisite, needless to say. It was wonderful. They also brought a sample stone up to City Hall for us to see, and it's very much in the way that Sky Valley looks. Do I hear a motion to approve this bid?
So moved.
Thank you. Bruce, second.
I second.
Thank you, Jim. Any discussion by the council?
Just a quick
Just
question.
to add,
Go ahead, Jim, you first.
on the Plios website, there are a number of examples of his work, and they all look fantastic. But I think the scale of our bridge is such that some of the larger stones would be appropriate. And I don't know if we need to specify now or in advance, or if his bid allows for, some of them that are smaller stones for smaller areas. But I think the big monumental stones that suggest the permanence of a facility that I anticipate would last some 40 years would be appropriate. Something like the Dr. Mitchell cottage,
Mhm.
on the website, where under their portfolio, where they show samples of their work. So-
And I agree with you wholeheartedly, and I think Jason does too, Jim. The stone that he did bring in for us to look at just about herniated Jason as he lifted it. So does that give you okay, you're okay with that? It was very
Sorry,
large
Jason.
stone.
I was just going to say, Mr. Ortiz, Miguel Ortiz, who is the owner of the company, he's been very cooperative as far as answering questions, et cetera. Some of the larger stones will be kind of the footer down at the base, but as they go up, it will be smaller. They're going to wrap the pipe, and it'll have a keystone at the top. And if you look at the example that he had with the tunnel, if you kind of envision that tunnel as the piping, and they're going to actually cut the piping back more flush with the head walls, so you really won't see that pipe when it's done. So we're envisioning it to be very attractive, and hopefully it will be something that the city will be very proud of when it's done.
Right.
That's
He's
such a
also-
key. That's a key section of the city.
Right. He's also putting a 5-inch capstone on top too. I think it's going to look fabulous.
Yeah.
The walls, they're going to raise the walls up, level the walls out, put caps on top, so it will actually have a more of a bridge appearance when it's done.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a first-class operation that we're going to look at, and the people are going to admire. It's this rustic mountain stone, sturdy,
Right.
beautiful, just perfect.
And hopefully we'll be here long after we're all not here.
And this is being funded out of road maintenance, so we actually, and also, this would also qualify for T-Splosh funding as well. And that money should be coming in very soon. So just to let folks know that, this is being paid for in a responsible way.
Right. Any other comments from council? Any comments from the attendees? Jason?
I don't see anyone on chat, Madam Mayor, asking questions.
All right. So have we had the motion and the second, Karen?
Yes, you have.
Keep me straight, Karen, keep me straight. All right. All in favor of approving this bid signify by saying aye.
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 Thank you. And I'm really excited and I'm looking forward to it. And wouldn't it be nice if it truly was done by our July 2nd event? That would be fabulous. All right. Item 7, consider resolution to name and memorialize the Sky Valley Way Culvert Bridge as Ed Morley Memorial Bridge after our colleague and friend's passing of Ed Morley. It was so apparent to me at the Ed Morley service that he was so well thought of. The service itself was overflowing. Everyone talked about all the things that Ed has volunteered for, every organization, every unofficial group in Sky Valley, that he was totally committed to the Sky Valley, including his part as being on our council. He was dedicated and adamant to us, as we all were, to replacing this main culvert to keep our citizens safe. He was so positive about it all. In fact, he arrived, I was at the culvert while they were installing it one day, and I saw Ed come to the culvert. He was obviously gravely ill. He could hardly walk. He couldn't breathe well. He couldn't talk. But he was there to give his support to the people working on this culvert. That's our Ed. I need, let's go ahead and get the motions over with, and then we'll have a discussion. Do I have a motion to accept this bid?
So moved.
Thank you, Bruce. Second.
Second.
Thank you, Bill. All right, let's council discussion.
Madam Mayor, if it's okay, I just wanted, I had a message from a citizen, Bill Horton. He wanted me, he asked to make mention that regarding memorializing the bridge, he understands memorializing and the importance of it. The suggestion is to have a memorial board that can be added to rather than choosing one person. Several people have made important contributions. So this was given to me by Monica, and I was asked to give that statement. That's from a citizen, Bill Horton. So I wanted to get that on record.
Thank you, Jason. And I agree, there's been so many wonderful of our citizens in the past, present, and probably in the future who have given their positive energy, their expertise, their time, their money to be willing to help Sky Valley. For instance, just think of all the organizations that we have in our city. Our city is one of volunteers. They always show up to help, whether it's city council, the POA, the garden club, condo boards, planning and zoning committees, the city committees, the Sid Weber funds. I mean, I can go on. Scaly Mountain Fire Department, plantings around the city, picking up trash around the city, volunteers for our city events. I mean, I can think of a bunch more, and we on the council so appreciate everything that everybody does. I'm afraid if we did a plaque and really honored everybody, it'd have to be about 2 stories high, because they all their names should be on it. And so I sort of agree, but in this instance, I think that Ed's dedication, and I think he was involved in most of those organizations, it would be great for us to do that. Any other discussions?
Just that it's, you know, we've even had prominent council people die before in office, but we've never also had at the same time a civic achievement of the magnitude of this memorial bridge available to honor people with. And Ed was in on this from the very beginning. And while there's lots of volunteers right here on this screen, I think it's hard to think of anybody who's done more than Ed Morley has for the good of the community in so many different ways, that I do think it's appropriate that we honor Ed by naming the bridge after him.
You know, and as I've been in several meetings and events around the city lately, I've had a bunch of people come up to me who also suggested that we either name the exit road that we're putting in, or the bridge. So it was many citizens. It just wasn't a couple of people who came up with this idea. And after thinking about it, we figured that the road that we're putting it is already named. It's just really an extension of Evergreen. So we thought that the bridge would be a nice honor. Any other comments? Any comments from the attendees, Jason?
I did not see anything on chat, Madam Mayor.
Thank you very much. So with the motions made, right, Karen?
Yes.
Thank you, Karen. All in favor of this motion signify by saying aye.
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 All opposed? Thank you all very much. And this was a quick meeting, and I appreciate our Jim, I appreciate you driving all night to get back here on time, and I appreciate Bruce from speaking to us from hot Florida.
Madam Mayor.
Yes.
Okay, never mind. I was looking at the marketing budget, and we did do that. We did that in the beginning, so my short attention span, sorry.
That's quite all right, Jim. You're just gonna keep me informed of what I'm supposed to be doing. That's good. All right, with that, do I hear a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Thank you, Tony. Second.
Second.
Thank you. Who, Bruce, was that you? Who was Bruce, I just wanted it to be you, I guess. Jim, was that you?
I yield to Bruce.
Okay.
I
So
second.
Bruce second. Thank you, Bruce. Any discussion? All right. All in favor signify by saying aye, and thank you all for coming.
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you,
Good job,
Jason.
Holly.
And
Yeah.
Jason is on vacation starting tomorrow, and we will miss him, but we'll continue. We will endeavor to persevere without you.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Well,
Have fun, Jason.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you
Bye.
all.
Bye.
Bye.